Welcome back. Today I am joined by TJ Prendergast. Welcome. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I mean, boy, a lot has changed, and we're well aware that schools are sort of deciding kind of where they're going and what they're at. But before we talk about what the schools are doing in your district, tell me a little bit about the district itself and just kind of about you.
Our district covers primarily Saddleback, Irvine Valley College, and the Advanced Technology Park up in Tustin. And we serve 30,000 plus students, and it's a lot. It's a big district. And I live in the Tustin area, represent area 2 of the district out of the 7 board members that oversee the district.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges. I mean, we're now going into, I think, month 5 in this whole quarantine thing. And, there's a big struggle between whether or not schools are going to have classes online, they're going to do a hybrid situation. What are some of the things that you guys are sort of dealing with?
So we put out the 2 college presidents and the chancellor and all of their administrative staff have been working very, very hard in working with classified and faculty in what is the best, safest environment that we can offer education to our students. We have used the state and local and federal guidelines for those safety measures, and believe that we've come up with what can be the best possible, all things considered. And it is important to know that things seem to change by the day, sometimes by the hour, and we adapt to that. But they've come up with a plan where certain classes that pretty much have to be met in person, labs, things of that nature, a way to do that as safely as possible. Other classes that don't have that requirement will be online until we're able to release it to full in person again.
Okay.
There are some classes that will be kind of a mix, where they'll be majority online, but we'll come in again with safe guidelines here and there. But again, we're all kind of adjusting to how to deal with what's safest.
Right. And not just businesses, but also I'm assuming campuses like the ones that you have in your district are going to have to go through some changes in terms of, distancing the desks, whatever type of disinfecting you have to do. I mean, that's going to be really hard. So how do you guys do that?
Well, we have an amazing staff on campuses to do that. It certainly changes kind of their normal operation, whereas before they may have vacuumed carpets or wiped down the door handle here or there. Now they're really going to have to do a lot more, and we appreciate the extra work they are going to have to do. And of course, as you're probably aware, there's been budget discussions at the state level and the federal level as to funding and how we're going to deal with that. We were very, very fortunate in the May revision from the governor that no cuts to community college are being planned. Obviously, we won't know for sure until the final budget is adopted.
Right. And then, of course, like you said, you have to sort of wait and see. So let's talk about some of the virtual. I know you mentioned that many of the classes will be an online thing. Are the teachers going to be teaching online, or is it kind of like the ones you have over the summer where you would just read and submit stuff? How does that work?
Well, I can't honestly say that all the classes in the summer were just read and submit stuff either. There's teaching going on, and our professors have been trained in kind of a way to keep students engaged by showing up to online lessons and getting that information in order to better understand the material. So teaching is definitely still going on. Is it as good as if they were in the classroom? Obviously not. But our professors are making every effort they can to be accessible for their students, as well as engaging them in online lessons.
Okay, great. And then I understand you guys had a virtual commencement this year.
Yes, for both Irvine Valley College and Saddleback College, with doing the best we can, we offered a virtual commencement. Those are both still available to watch online for anybody who missed them or wants to see them. But I have to commend the staffs at both colleges, did an amazing job putting that together. They had trustees like myself. I got to give a speech as president of the board to congratulate the graduates, and the other trustees recorded messages as well. The chancellor, the college presidents, key faculty, they had a student speaker. So it was as close to a regular commencement as you could possibly imagine with all things going on. The only thing, they didn't get to walk across the stage and pick up a promotion. Yeah, it's as good as we could do, and it came out very nice.
Yeah, people are getting really creative right now, and it's just amazing how many things we can do online. So I'm impressed with the technology, and I'm also impressed with the creativity. So it sounds like you guys did a really great job of coming up with whatever was the next best thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we can't thank the faculty, the classified, the administration enough for everything they did to pull these things off, and are continuing to pull these things off, especially the rapid change that had to occur back in the spring, as well as the preparation for the summer, and then now going into the fall and beyond.
Right, right. And obviously, well, we've had a discussion about what you're going to be doing for fall, and you don't really necessarily know what's going to happen for spring. But obviously, as things keep going the way they're going, then you might have to still have online classes. So, when you're looking ahead, and all of the things you mentioned in terms of, budget, money, that type of thing, how does COVID-19 change how you look at a budget?
Well, interestingly enough, it doesn't change as much as you think it would. There's a lot of people, well, you don't have all the use of the building, so you don't have to, well, you still have to maintain them. You need them ready to go when things do come back to the regular classrooms. So you can't just neglect those things. So that part of your budget still has to continue. Your staffing is the same, if not in some senses increased. If you have to, if you find that the personnel that it took to keep things clean and safe before is not adequate enough, you may need to bring in more. It depends on how effective the jobs are being done. We haven't seen any significant shift in that budget, mainly, again, because we were fortunate that there wasn't cut to community colleges in the current budget. But we were looking at having to make some cuts if that didn't come through the way it originally had been presented. And so, that could mean programs, it could mean this, that, and the other. But right now, it looks like we're going to be able to offer some of the same services that were around before all of this. Now, one example of a significant shift that could occur, obviously, with no one on campus, you don't need the cafeteria set up. And that cafeteria budget was part of funding ASG and ASIDC, ASG and Saddleback, some of their funding for being able to provide services for the students.
Okay.
But some of those services were to help fund clubs that may not be meeting the way they used to. So they may not have the financial needs that they did before. So it seems to all be balancing out, and yet, again, we don't know what's going to be tomorrow.
Right. Exactly. And with now, the governor has gotten back and shut down some additional things. So, like you said, you just never really know. And we're all trying to adapt the best we can. But, good for you guys. It sounds like you really got a good handle on it, and a wait and see sort of attitude. You really kind of just jump in with what you know and go from there. So congratulations on getting everything put together for the fall semester. Well, thank you. Anything else?
I think that's it. We covered the current topics.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you again in maybe a couple months to sort of see where we're at.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
And we'll be right back after this.